Hi, this is Ahed from Logos Learning, and in this video I will explain to you how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. So first, let's do addition and subtraction. To add or subtract fractions, the fractions must have a common denominator, which corresponds to the LCM, or the lowest common multiple. Suppose you have 1 over 2 plus 2 over 3. Our denominators are 2 and 3. Now let's find the multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. And the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. And find the lowest common one. Now 2 is not common, 3 is not common, 4 is not common. 6, however, is common between 2 and 3. Therefore, 6 is the lowest common multiple between 2 and 3. Now, we need this denominator to be a 6 because 6 is the lowest common multiple. So we're going to multiply the denominator by 3. However, whatever you do with the denominator, you must do with the numerator. Now, for this one to be 6, we need to multiply by 2. And whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. So here we can say 1 times 3 is 3, divided by 2 times 3 is 6. 3 over 6 plus 2 times 2 is 4 over 3 times 2 is 6. Let's rewrite this under a common multiple, or common denominator. 3 plus 4 over 6. 3 plus 4 corresponds to 7 over 6. Can we reduce this fraction any further? We cannot. Let's do a subtraction example. Here we have 1 over 2 minus 5 over 6. Our denominators are 2 and 6. Let's find the common multiple between, the lowest common multiple between 2 and 6. So for 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so on. For 6, it is 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. Let's find the lowest common one. Yeah, it was obvious this time. It is 6. Therefore, we look at these fractions. This one already has a 6 as a denominator, and this one needs to be 6, so we have to multiply it by 3. And whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. Now, 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus 5 over 6. Let's rewrite it and rewrite this under one denominator. So 3 minus 5 over 6. Now 3 minus 5 is minus 2 and over 6. So here we have minus 1 over 3. We're going to continue now with multiplication. Multiplication is simple. In order to multiply fractions, we must multiply the denominators and then multiply the numerators. So 1 times 3 divided by 2 times 4. So we multiply the numerators and then we multiply the denominators. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. And this is an irreducible fraction. Another example. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. This is a reducible fraction. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 3 over 2. Every number is over 1. So we can write a denominator for the 2, which is 1. Now let's multiply the numerators. 2 times 3 is 6, and the denominators, 1 times 2 is 2. Now 6 over 2 is 3. For division, all we have to do is take the dividend, which is the first fraction, and instead of dividing, you can multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. So you basically change the sign and flip the second fraction. Now, as a simple multiplication, 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. We can reduce this further by dividing 4 and 6 by 2. 4 over 2 is 2. 6 over 2 is 3. Now, 1/2 divided by 2. Like I said earlier, each number has a denominator of 1. We write the first fraction, the dividend, and we multiply instead of divide by the reciprocal of the divisor, so 1 over 2. Now it's the multiplication. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. Next example. It's the same thing here, but instead of a division sign, they have one big line. Let's write the dividend and multiply it by the reciprocal of the divisor. So 2 over 3. We just flipped the second fraction. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. And this is an irreducible fraction. Next one, 4 over 3 divided by 3. Let's give the 3 a denominator. We write the first fraction, or the dividend, and we multiply it by the reciprocal of the divisor. So instead of 3 over 1, what do we write? We write 1 over 3. This is simple multiplication now. 4 times 1 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, and we have ourselves an irreducible fraction. I hope this video helped. I know that this topic is a trouble topic for a lot of students, but fractions are simple. You just gotta make sure that you do not skip steps, and that you get a common denominator when you add and subtract. When you multiply the numerators and the denominators, and then when you divide, you multiply instead by the reciprocal of the divisor. Bye!